What it mean to be the best? Riding foes, feeling unimpressed. Make me reminisce, throwing bows, bend the corner, set my mind up on a goal. All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the goal. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. I ain't gotta say much. Know the boy got a touch. Another win for the rush. Another win for the rush. See me once and got a crush. See you twice and that's enough. Get the ring sized up.
Hello. Welcome in to Tell the Truth, episode 82. We are back into the dog days of summer as NBA has officially ended and ATG has become a champion.
KC. Yeah.
Very happy that Oklahoma City Thunder proved me right. And
shout out to the Thunder, man.
Best team all year. They got the job done in a game 7. Shame, obviously, Halliburton getting hurt. Thought that we were headed to maybe another classic battle between the two teams, but the Pacers showed a lot of fight, obviously, throughout the entirety of the series, and ultimately pushed it to 7 games. And, here's what it is. Thunder, your champions, they had the parade in Oklahoma City. Shout out to them, man. DG, CJ, how you guys feeling, man? We are in the dog days of summer. Chiefs have wrapped up mandatory minicamp. We now know that the training camp dates will be everybody reporting on July 21st, ultimately to St. Joe. Now we wait for one Trey Smith.
Right. Yeah, you did. Nah, feeling great, man. That lift is starting to come around. The grass, the heat, the pads, starting to smell like training camp. As soon as we get close to this time, man, it's all go. All gas, from here on out. Hopefully players are enjoying, their little time off.
Nope, don't enjoy nothing. Stay in the house. I don't want to hear nothing.
Well, responsibly enjoying their time off.
Enjoying the couch. That's what you need to enjoy. Enjoy that.
And, stay out the heat, bro. You don't need to be outside no way. It's been
hot as hell anyway.
Ever in KC, so I can just imagine where everybody else is.
Oh, God.
But yeah, man, hopefully, guys are getting ready. Hopefully I think we're getting close to the date for Trey Smith. Is the 15th for the tag deadline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully something gets done before then. But yeah, man, we almost there, man. Almost to the start of the season.
Yeah, we are here. So as the Chiefs get into the dog days of summer, I mean, there's not much that we had as far as the NFL news or really Chiefs topics as far as that's concerned. I do want to get a little bit into Rashee Rice as well. Nothing much really happened around the NFL over the past week. Chiefs did wrap up, obviously, the mandatory minicamp. Didn't have any injuries to talk about from that perspective. We did have a pretty fair report kind of come out that it looks like the offensive line is going to, in fact, feature the right side that we expected. Obviously, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Jawan Taylor at right tackle. No expectation for there to be any real competition to be there. Josh Simmons continued to get his work in, as we discussed last week. Also working with Mitchell Schwartz. If he's healthy, sounds like there might be a really good chance for him to start at left tackle. And of course, Kingsley Sumatia does seem to be the presumed starter at left guard as well as we continue to move through things. Nothing really else from that perspective to discuss as well. We are going to rank our offensive players, top offensive players as we did defensive players last week. And we'll save the Mahomes film review for next week to talk about as far as some of the more interesting aspects of his game that we want to see improved upon, or maybe different, we'll say, for next year to have the offense be better. But as far as, the Rashee Rice of it all, there were two things that I saw that I feel like are important to kind of mention. And then in the context of Rashee Rice's kind of overall standing within the offense and then really the entirety of the NFL. So the first was one, it was a stat that Robert Mays ultimately read on his athletic football show. There it is. I was looking for it. And it was an interesting stat about Rashee Rice and his his explosive plays last year. And so he had 7 explosive plays to begin the year, basically in the 3 games, obviously in which he played and finished. And if you extrapolate that out, it puts you somewhere in that 38 to 40 play mark for an entirety of the season. Jamar Chase led the NFL with 43 of those plays, and Justin Jefferson was second in the NFL with 36 of those plays. And that tells you the type of company and pace that he was on to begin the season as well. And Heath Cummings, who's a fantasy analyst for CBS Sports, discussed, the last 17 games for Rashee Rice, just being 108 catches, 1,243 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's a wide receiver 1 season, no matter how you saw it. So all that being said is really just to give the context of what Rashee Rice was on pace to continue to do to start the season, which obviously you guys are aware of, and what he can really mean for this offense that struggled mightily to create explosive plays. And a lot of that had to do with the wide receivers in the lineup. So, I mean, the question that I'd have for you guys, it seems like we're not going to get any suspension. Rashee Rice fully works coming out of minicamp. Rashee Rice healthy going into training camp. How are your expectations for Rashee Rice coming into this 2025 season, assuming he's going to be on the field from week 1 on?
I expect 4 to be 4, man. As long as he's healthy, that was the biggest thing that was weighing over our heads with the suspension. So from what we've seen in minicamp and OTAs, he looks healthy. Obviously, we want to see what he's like in pads, running full speed. But from what I've seen in workout clips and him doing one-on-ones, he looks like himself. So excited to see training camp in St. Joe and him being his normal self, especially the run after catch ability coming off a knee injury like that, which we knew wasn't as career serious as we thought it to be when it happened. Obviously, it wasn't like a full ACL, MCL, PCL tear, so it wasn't like anything major for his career. It was just better for him to sit out the whole year. And so Rashee looks like himself, man. So as long as he's out there fully healthy, I expect him to go out there and do what he was on pace to do last year. Probably won't be as of to that degree because we have the fact of Xavier Worthy's here in the second year, and you have guys like Juju coming back, and obviously Hollywood's involved in the offense for a full season as well. So obviously the workload won't be all on his shoulders, but I expect another big year from Rashee, another 1,000-yard season, try to break double-digit touchdowns and be his normal self.
Yeah, my expectations are the same thing. I think that the chemistry between him and Pat obviously blossomed last year in that limited time that we got to see them play together. So I expect him to pick up right where they left off at. I think he knows Pat very well and what he likes and what he wants to see out there. I think he's a very reliable target at this point in his career, and he knows the offense, obviously. So I truly think, we've been asking who's going to be that guy to kind of take over that role from Travis Kelce for, kind of Pat's bailout option, or, a guy that he likes to go to often. And I think Rashee Rice is definitely turned into that to this point. You could see last year at the beginning of the year they were basically drawing up plays. I mean, for Rashee Rice to get open. So, and I think if how well he goes is how well this offense will be able to go. The other options being able to get open through him. Defenses have to focus on him so much. So I think it'd be pivotal if Rashee Rice has a big year. I think this offense has a chance to be arguably one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And the ceiling, is for what he can put out. I think he truly can have a top 10 wide receiver season, man. Maybe even better, depending on how things fall. And it's important to understand the cascading effects within this offense of what Rashee Rice being healthy brings, because of everything that he creates as far as mismatches in the middle of the field, whether it's on wide receivers or slot cornerbacks, and the ability to create those explosives. And you have to put extra attention onto Rashee Rice on the inside, which then opens up the ability for guys like Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, who obviously they were able to play off of each other a little bit later on in the season, but never with Rashee Rice also on the field. It opens up so much space for them to operate in the intermediate and deep areas as well. And then, Travis Kelce can be a secondary option, again, that chain mover like we had discussed last week. So Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, I would love to see those guys healthy, and obviously this offensive line be functioning from the left tackle position, and see what this Chiefs offense can do. Along those lines, we are, like I said, going to rank the top offensive players. I did want to actually include this piece because defensive play callers last week, maybe a little bit in the weeds. And personally, like, there's no defensive coordinator I'm taking over Spags. I think that's been proven over playoffs and playoffs and playoffs. That's just how I feel about it. But offensive play calls is maybe a little bit of a more interesting discussion. Obviously, Andy Reid, Hall of Fame resume, one of the best head coaches in the National Football League. And everybody will be doing the offensive coordinator thing as far as, Matt Nagy's place, Eric Bieniemy's former place, et cetera, et cetera. This offense is run by Andy Reid, and the plays are ultimately called by Andy Reid and relate through the offensive coordinator to Mahomes. The question I have for you guys, with the amount of really good offensive play callers in this National Football League, some of which in this division, as it pertains to obviously Sean Payton now being the head coach of the Denver Broncos, obviously the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahans, the Matt LaFleurs of the world. Do you guys feel like Andy Reid is still that top one offensive play caller in the National Football League, or do you have somebody that you prefer as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, I mean, the only guys I could see this next to him or near his level would be a McVay, maybe. How innovative he is. Who else?
I think, like, as far as like a one-game scenario, money on the line, I'm not taking nobody over Andy. But like a regular season, like maybe like being a little more innovative, like DG said, you could like throw in McVay. Obviously, you could throw in guys like LaFleur as well. I love the way he does with his offenses. But
McConnell.
Money on the line, yeah, McConnell as well. Yep. Even like I like what Shane Steichen does at times as well. There's a lot of good offensive minds, but I don't think there's too many guys with the money on the line in January, even more so February, that you would take over Big Red for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we talked about this, a few times about it. Yeah, there could be some aspects of the offense that could be modernized, and I think that there are some conversations to be had about diversifying the room that is around Andy Reid, just because I think it's good to always be able to bring in those fresh ideas. And I think Sean McVay is the only person that I would put next to him as far as that's concerned, really from an entire coaching perspective. And because he does have the ability really to command a room and be modern as far as that's concerned. But the way in which Andy Reid controls his entire team and schedules things out, I still think ultimately he gets the edge from that perspective. And you talk about the one-game sample size, I think that plays into it as well. But like you said, Kevin O'Connell, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, guys like that are really good around Liam Cohen, who I think obviously showed very well for the Buccaneers the past few years. Those guys continue to prove that they are really good offensive play callers, but ultimately what Andy Reid has done over the course of years is very impressive. And I do think there is a big piece of this. It's like, hey, if these guys are healthy, then things look different. It's a lot different when your three wide receiver sets, are Justin Watson and Juju and Xavier Worthy, who's, rookie trying to get his feet wet compared to what it was supposed to look like with Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy. So we'll end up seeing how that ends up working out. But I do still believe, Andy Reid is an S tier offensive play caller, offensive play designer. It's just, hey, you got to been able to try and work around what the offense has brought to the table the last few years has been a little bit difficult from that standpoint. Yes, Ben Johnson getting his first chance with the Bears, obviously, to be a head coach and made his reputation extremely high. A part of the Detroit Lions. Thanks for that shout out, Harold. So moving on, now we will get to the start of the rankings aspect of this. So quarterback wise, I do have to start out by asking this, and I asked this question a few weeks ago, but I'm going to couch it a little bit differently. What is the scenario, or I shouldn't ask that, of the three guys that people put in the same conversation or the tier below or the tier with, as far as the best quarterbacks in the National Football League? Who do you think would be most likely to take the crown from Patrick Mahomes this upcoming season? If you think it's possible at all. You can say it's not possible at all.
I mean, I guess you could say the guy who won MVP last year, Josh Allen.
The regular season guys, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You could take any of them for regular season.
Burrow, Lamar. Those are the guys that probably the three that I'm putting, right next to him as far as if they are to be the guy, that takes the crown, I guess. And so you could say it's fitting how they're all in one conference. So, it's not a lot of guys over there in the NFC that you feel like are threatening him at this point in his career. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. I know Eagles fans are probably watching this. at some point, you know, no disrespect to him or anything, but still, I don't see that a lot of guys over there being able to take the crown away from him.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Do you think any one of I'm sorry, which of those three do you think would be most likely to take it? And you know, including the regular season and postseason, because I think that's the only way that you can take it away is you have to do it in the postseason too.
Yeah.
I can't answer that. Like at this point, they gotta prove it. They have to prove it. So you know, like all three of them got he's beat all of them in the postseason. In January. Like till they prove it, I don't know.
If anybody can do it, I guess you could say Josh, because he took his game to another level. Like didn't turn the ball over, did it with less. I know they tried to improve the receiver room. Didn't really do much for me, but they tried to add some guys like Josh Palmer. You had Elijah Moore, so they're trying to give him more weapons. Obviously, they need to resign James Cook, which I expect that to be done very soon. I mean, if we had this conversation in the chat off air the other day, like which of the three quarterbacks not named Pat do you trust the most? I said, ironically, the two-time MVP I put at the bottom because the last 2 years in the playoffs, he's turned the ball over 6 times. I can't put you in that conversation about those guys if every time the money's on the line the last 2 years with the rosters you had, you fold, whether it be at home or on the road. So the numbers are the numbers. So if I had to pick a guy of those two, Joe's eliminated because of his defense. It's not going to help him make a deep playoff run. I think they'll make the playoffs maybe, but a 7 seed at best, even if they do get there. So I think if you have to pick the Bills right now. So it'd probably be Josh Allen. If anybody could knock off Pat, it'd be him.
Yeah, it's fair
enough. I don't see it happening, but if I had to pick somebody.
There's a good chance that I'm wrong about this, but I'm always going to say Lamar. At least until
want to, but it's
Josh
just
does it.
I put so much money on him last year, bro. He's so dog. I can't.
I also think the Ravens' defense is better than the Bills.
It definitely is. That's
yeah. So I think that they'll have what is necessary in the playoffs. Just about can Lamar Jackson play well enough to get it done.
That's what pisses me off, DMac. He had everything, and he still folded. All right, bro. And I've been trying to defend Lamar because I low-key tried to people disrespect him, calling him a quarterback and shit, which was warranted at times. But
we do have to be and again, I think that he did fold in that game. To be fair, as far as turnovers in the first half, even though he was great in my opinion in the second half of that game, specifically last year. We do have to be fair. He was missing Zay Flowers for that game in Buffalo.
I'm not, bro. I'm not defending no more, man. Like, you got to prove it.
I tried to be on his side, bro.
I agree. He got to prove it. I agree. He got to prove it,
bro. I was trying to, but I was like, dang, bro.
Show me on the field.
You sold me, dog. Like,
I completely agree. He has to prove it at this point, and I'll be honest with you guys. I think all of them got to prove it. I know people are gonna be like Joe Burrow had all this and excuse it because of the defense. Like, there were still too many turnovers for Joe Burrow in key moments that hurt their team, including versus us, obviously. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have to prove in the playoffs. I still think Joe Burrow has to prove it in the playoffs because his 2022 AFC Championship game, it wasn't good. He got picked off.
Average at best.
He got picked off twice, and he had the ball with a chance to drive down and win the game. He didn't do it. So that wasn't good. And people are going to be like, well, look, he went to the Super Bowl in 2021. That run, it was a lot of defense. A lot of defense was carrying during that run. And that's not to say he didn't play well because he did. And obviously he played well versus us in the second half to make that comeback. But I don't think that he's stamped as some, playoff riser from that perspective. That's what I'm saying. We gave him plenty of opportunities for sure. I don't think any three of those guys are stamped as a playoff riser in any sense. If you're asking me who's the biggest playoff riser in the NFL at this point, it's probably Jalen Hurts.
Be honest with you. I mean, the last 2 times he's in there, he plays well.
Yeah, so there was an interesting thing that also the Athletic Football Show was talking about as far as cold weather quarterbacks and the ones that perform well. Burrow and Allen were on this list. Jalen Hurts, ironically, actually kind of gets significantly worse in the cold, which is weird, but it is something that happens to him. But no, I do think like all three of those guys got to prove it, and it's only those 3 guys that really have a shot as far as that's concerned. I guess maybe unless Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, no, I'd still say that.
Nah.
I mean, Jaden has a chance, but it's too early. That's like a couple years down the road conversation.
Yeah, no disrespect to them either, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think we can keep it to 3, but I think that all 3 of them have stuff to prove in the playoffs, which goes back to actually, we can make a very quick put stop to this. We got time. Yeah, it's the dog day, so who cares? There was a tweet from one of the Chiefs accounts here on Twitter, and I'm going to give credit when I actually can pull up the tweet. You guys going to give me like 2 seconds to do it. It was what really sucks, guys. I have to do a PSA. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably found me through Chiefs means, and I really do apologize because I hate when other people do these things. I'm sorry for flooding your timeline with Love Island stuff. I apologize greatly for this. I'm just very much enjoying the show. And I would tweet it specifically in the community and so that you didn't have to see it on the timeline, but I do truly apologize for that. It shouldn't have to be this way, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I was going to pull up this tweet really quickly. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. So they had asked a question on Twitter, which quarterbacks are under the most pressure as far as this is concerned. And I did put Patrick Mahomes at the top of my regular season list because I do believe 2 straight years, even though 2023, in my opinion, was not his fault. It was a lot of the circumstances around him. I think that he's going to have a representative regular season as long as the guys are healthy to get it done. But I think I have full confidence that he will. It's just about that standpoint of it. Trevor Lawrence getting Liam Cohen, and obviously they drafted, Travis Hunter. I think that's a massive thing. Caleb Williams with the Ben Johnson stuff. I think that's huge. Kyler Murray. I mean, it feels like at some point this is going to have to happen. Sam Darnold getting that huge contract from Seattle, and obviously he's got Jalen Milroe breathing down his neck, and Justin Fields. It feels like this is his last shot to prove that he can be a starter in this league with the Jets. But I said in the playoffs, it starts with those 3 that we just talked about: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, as far as proving their mettle and if they can get over the hump, in my opinion. So Jared Goff and Justin Herbert also on that list for different reasons. Anybody else you guys want to mention here as far as under the most pressure next season at the quarterback position?
As far as regular season,
either one. You can say either one.
I feel like this list is spot on.
Most of the quarterbacks, the only one that really CJ Stroud already got his solidified spot. Jordan Love got his money, so most of those guys are already paid. So most of these guys are most of these guys on the list are paid. Besides obviously Caleb being a sophomore, but Justin Fields got his money, so he's trying to just stick around in the league. Sam got his payday, so he did his job. Kyler Murray, they've already pretty much chosen that he's going to be their quarterback. Trevor, as much as we give him flack, he's not going anywhere. So it's pressure to perform well, or pressure to get paid. Most of these guys got their money. So
I mean, if Trevor doesn't perform this year, I know he's not going anywhere because of the money, but it's getting late early at some point.
No,
especially if they got Liam and Travis.
It'll get nasty for sure. I mean, Sam probably don't got that many years left in the league, at least as a starter, in my opinion. I mean, eventually, when Seattle finds their guy for the future, they'll probably move on from him.
If he doesn't perform well, I think it's going to be Jalen. I think they're going to.
If Jalen Milroe takes his job, he should turn in his helmet and never play football ever again, Sam Darnold. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because no disrespect to Jalen Milroe, but that young man is not a quarterback. But no, I agree. If he does it, that'd be disgusting. I mean, Kyler Murray, you give him weapons like Marv. Him and Trey McBride had a hell of a year last year. I think they're only going to get better. Steichen's out there doing his thing. Obviously, Justin Fields, New York believed in him. So, obviously, I think the pressure's kind of off of Justin because I think it was kind of to find a job, and they kind of gave you an opportunity. Nobody's expecting Justin to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's got to perform, though, because he doesn't they don't have any guaranteed money tied to him after next year. Yeah. So, they can cut him.
The fact they even gave you an opportunity, bro, they didn't have to sign you. They could have went and drafted somebody else or signed him, but they chose to give him the job, but they believe in him. So, nobody on this list really has. The only obvious one is Caleb because they've done everything in their power to move mountains for you. So, I would put Caleb at number 1 because you have to show some type of promise. Pat's going to perform regardless. So, I get why you put him up there because he's had 2 subpar years for his standards. But overall quarterback standards, Caleb Williams is number 1 on this list. To me, it's not even close. They've done everything for you. Coaching staff, linemen, weapons, it's not even close. The division has lost some talent overall. So if he does not perform this year, it will look very ugly in Chicago for sure.
The only reason why I had Caleb a little bit lower is only because he's going to be given the 3rd year regardless to prove it again. But exactly. I do agree with you because of everything they've done. There's immense pressure on him. I was going to say somebody else. and it just jumped out of my head. Give me like 2 seconds. DG, anybody you wanted to add?
Nah, not really. I think this list is valid as far as where regular season and playoffs lie. So.
2 guys that I left off of this. I'll mention 2 guys first. One, Drake May has the runway. They're still not there yet, so I think it's okay with Drake May. Tyler Shuck or whoever starts for the Saints is irrelevant in my personal opinion. Same thing for the Browns. But Bryce Young, obviously, the weapons, they got Tet. They feel good about Leggett. It seems like this is kind of a, hey, we need to see some for you. You got to carry over the momentum that you have from last year. And obviously I didn't put him on here. And then the other one is I think that there's a lot of pressure on Michael Penix Jr. because the Falcons are a team that they want to be in the playoffs. They traded the picks to make sure that they were in the playoffs. And this Kirk Cousins thing didn't work out. So, hey, you got to be as advertised to justify what we've done, the past 24 months at the quarterback position. So we'll see how it works out from that perspective. But yeah, that was only 2 that I also wanted to include. But we can get back to the actual ranking of these quarterbacks. So quarterback, obviously, put Patrick Mahomes at number 1. Consensus number 2. DG said he's not defending it no more. Where you guys want to go for number 2? I'm still saying Lamar Jackson personally. Where you guys feel like?
I've always had Joe Burrow at 2 personally. That's just me. Like, as far as purely throwing the football talent-wise, like, Joe's a dog, bro. I know he don't move like Lamar or move like Josh, but I've always had Joe at 2. Joe a demon, bro. Like, I respect Joe Burrow, dog.
Jamar Chase, we had that conversation.
We're all different. I got Josh Allen.
You got Josh Allen. Yeah, interesting. I don't think we've ever had that conversation, CJ, that you were a Joe Burrow guy.
Joe's so freaking good, bro. I know he got Jamar
Chase
and everything. Shit, bro.
No, he is. But this is awkward.
I was gonna say we're all different on this one.
We're all different.
I got Josh for sure.
Any of the 3.
we're just
Let's put all 3 of them right there.
All 3. next.
2,
we're just gonna put them all here. Because I don't know. I guess all right.
You can't go wrong with any of them 3, man. There's no bad choice.
I don't put them in alphabetical order. Whoa, that's weird.
Like, Joe's probably the best pure thrower, but Lamar's the most dynamic. Josh is probably the biggest headache to deal with just because he's a cheat code and he cheat code in the red zone like type shit. So there's a case for argument for any of the 3, honestly.
We're gonna produce this on the fly real quick. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. Everybody, make your case for why your guy is the second best quarterback in the league. Wait, hold on a second. Go ahead, DG. You're up first.
Oh wow!
ISO. We're ISO. We're clearing out, DG.
Summer Jam screen. All right. Josh Allen.
The boy look like SGA right now.
Yeah, Summer Jam screen. Josh Allen to me, second best quarterback in the league. I just feel like, as far as what he means to that team, as well as how hard it is to stop him, not only running the ball but throwing. The arm talent that he has as well too. I love what Lamar does, but I don't think he's as dynamic of a runner as Josh Allen is. I think Josh Allen is a tank. Like, anytime we play him, you know that you're in for a full 60 minutes. Just pure battering ram downhill. It's going to be very physical against him. I do think that there are points and times where he can be turnover prone and make some boneheaded decisions. But I think his arm talent, to me, puts him over Joe and Lamar, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it.
All right. CJ, you up next, my guy. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and get CJ back up here. Go ahead, brother. Make your case for Joe Burrow.
Joey B, Joey Cool, what they call him, if he's from New Orleans, I guess. The only guy to ever beat Pat in the playoffs. Obviously, got to give him respect to that, even though it was 4 years ago. As far as pure arm talent, purely throwing the football, accuracy, toughness, making big clutch throws, especially on third down, fourth down. I know he has Jamar Chase, which is kind of a little bit of a cheat code, but Joe makes so many tough throws, and he's such a good decision maker when the money's on the line. He's really, really good in 2 minutes. Probably the only other quarterback I will take in 2 minutes outside of Pat Mahomes will be Joe Burrow. He's just smart, man. Like, he knows what to do. He read coverages extremely well, and he's probably the toughest quarterback in the league besides Pat. Like, we saw the way he get beat up year after year, gets sacked year after year. He still gets up, doesn't really complain, just goes out there and play. So I respect Joe Burrow. And, like, you look at a list of injuries that he's been through since high school, I don't think people realize how many injuries he has. He has a lot of things he's dealt with, from high school to college at Ohio State, then transferring to LSU until he got to his rookie year, obviously, and now he's dealt with a lot of injuries. It's like almost like a book full of injuries he's dealt with. So the fact that he's still here now, playing at the best level he's ever played with, and obviously he just had the best year of his career, having an MVP type season, doing what he did with a terrible defense. I've gained a lot of respect for Joe, and I've always had a lot of respect for him. But he's probably the second best quarterback in the league to me, man. I don't think it's not too much of an argument outside of him, Joe, Josh, and Lamar. But Joe's so tough, man. It's like he makes so many good throws in the middle of the field. He reads so many good coverages, too high, single high. He doesn't care if he gets hit. Jamar, no Jamar, he just performs, man. So I've always had respect for Joe. So that's why he's my second quarterback.
Excellent. I'll call my own number here. I think I've always looked at Lamar Jackson as somebody that is the second that you get off the bus, or even just throughout the entirety of the week, presents so many headaches because of his threat with his legs. And I think that because of how dynamic of a runner he is, it gets lost on how great of a thrower he is. He improved from the pocket tremendously. His ability to limit negative plays has always been ahead of his peers from that standpoint. You talk about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Josh Allen really had to catch up in that sense as well. He throws the ball outside the numbers very well, very accurate. He understands how to get the ball over the middle field on a consistent basis. And he never had a wide receiver the caliber of a Stephon Diggs, and certainly not the caliber of a Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. So I think what he's continued to put together there for the Ravens, and it has been incredibly impressive. And I love to see his growth. Now, like, there's always going to be a playoff question, and that's fair. I've just always said I don't think any of the other two guys are necessarily stamped in the playoffs to the extent that other people will present it as. People will use the loss of the 13 seconds game in which Josh Allen still punted more than Patrick Mahomes as evidence, or the missed field goal in the game at Buffalo. Still didn't perform as well, and obviously we saw him lose to the Bengals. He had the ball, with the 3 minutes left to go ahead and go down the field and tie the game or win the game. They ended up doing it in last year's AFC Championship game. Saw what Joe Burrow obviously was able to do in the second half of the 2021 AFC Championship game. It's 4 years ago, and that was one half of football. He didn't necessarily go crazy or nuts or go on an immaculate run throughout the other games throughout that playoff run. So for me, I don't know if Joe's necessarily stamped in the playoffs. I think any of those three guys can still write their playoff story, and I think Lamar Jackson has all the talent in the world to do so as well. And when I just watch him on a consistent play-to-play basis, he impresses me with his legs and his arm. He's just awesome from that standpoint. But like we said, like we all said, you're not going wrong with any of these four guys. That's just how we personally feel about it. But that was a fun little segment to do, get a little clear-eyed eye. So, but yeah, so 2 through 4, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, only put in alphabetical order of their last name, of course.
I will say this: the most annoying one to play for me is Josh Allen. It's annoying.
That's why he's two.
But the one that's the most, like, the one I respect the most, of, like, bro, if you give him the ball last, he could probably beat us. Is probably Joe Burrow. That's the one I fear the most with the ball in their hands. Any of them can make a play, but out of, like, as far as, like, which ones I would, like, rather not play, Joe Burrow's number 1, Josh Allen 2, and then Lamar. If I had to rank them, like, how much I don't want to play him.
Yeah, it's Josh for me. I don't like playing that guy.
He's annoying too.
He's annoying,
especially on red zone and third down. And Josh Allen's fucking annoying, dog. Like,
yeah, it's just so tough to stop. I do got a lot of respect for Joe and the way he throws the ball. I think he's obviously very cool, calm, and collected, especially in pressure-packed moments. Never really gets rattled, but I think, I don't know. I don't fear them. I don't fear them.
He's so good in 2 minutes. He's so good in 2 minutes.
I got McDuffie now. I don't fear Jamar Chase. I don't fear one.
Now that part is true.
Hey,
it's just like, bro, he's good in 2 minutes, bro.
Don't
Joe
fear
is
him.
so good in 2 minutes.
Put T. Higgins on the field too. I don't fear him either.
But it's just like, bro, when you get in the red zone, bro, it's like Josh Allen's so annoying because like he can run the ball. He's a bowling ball. It's like, bro, and it's mainly in no situation.
Yeah,
Anywhere else on the field, I'm comfortable with Josh. It's when he's in the freaking red zone in the third down. It's like, fuck, bro.
He's
so
annoying. He's so annoying.
He's
But that's I think
big ass white Cam Newton,
Yeah.
and I hate playing him in the red zone, bro.
I think that's the fun part as a NFL fan, specifically with discussing really these three quarterbacks, because the Patrick Mahomes of all gets weird because we always come at it from a Chiefs perspective. But individually, those three quarterbacks are all so very unique, even though that they all bring like similar levels of value. Josh Allen in the red zone, where he turns into a superhuman and he's a linebacker that can run really fast, and everything that provides for you is awesome to watch, and because he has the cannon of his arm, and obviously he can extend those plays as well in a Big Ben-esque manner from that standpoint, just in the pocket. Joe Burrow being able to escape and then also be so accurate outside the numbers is incredibly impressive on a consistent basis. And Lamar Jackson with his superpower is to create space in which it doesn't exist, and really just also flick the ball down the field and on a consistent basis is also awesome. So I think it's fun watching all of these guys. We all agree on that from that standpoint too. So number 5, this is where it gets interesting as far as this discussion is concerned, because there are different ways that you can go. And I think it tells a little bit about you and how you feel about quarterback play and which one that you want to choose. There's the Jaden Daniels, rookie phenom last year that got the Commanders to an NFC championship game after the Detroit Lions upset. There's the Jalen Hurts, reigning Super Bowl champion, obviously got to the Super Bowl previously 2 years ago at the MVPs season, I'll say 2 years ago as well. There's a Justin Herbert, who people on film will say is worthy of being the fifth best quarterback in the National Football League. There's guys like C.J. Stroud. There's guys like Matthew Stafford, who is the only other quarterback that currently has a ring. I'm not counting Aaron Rodgers in this discussion for obvious reasons. So where do you guys want to go as far as the fifth best quarterback is concerned?
Matthew Stafford. Next question.
Really?
This is not a question for me. We're not doing it, bro. It's Matt Stafford.
Okay. DG, do you have
Stafford at 5, bro?
DG, do you have where would you go? If you want to think about it, I can ask CJ to explain his Matthew Stafford love.
I mean, you could ask him, but I disagree. But you know,
CJ, do advocate for Matthew Stafford. Oh, did we lose?
we lost him.
Oh, we lost CJ. That was unfortunate timing there. I'm interested. Like I think that Matthew Stafford is a perfectly fair answer to answer, because I do think that he clears the bar as far as level of quarterback play, even if his regular season wasn't as good as it probably should have been last year. And obviously he's the only one that's been stamped to be able to win before, but I don't know. That's tough. DG, do you have where would your differing answer be?
Jalen Hurts. I know people want to talk about talent and things of that nature. Look, you win games. You win games. When you win at the highest level, you know, I gotta give you your props. Like, I love Justin Herbert. I love his talent. When you get to the playoffs and you throw 4 or 5 interceptions, I'm sorry, I can't put you in the top 5. I love Matthew Stafford. I think he's talented or whatever. I just think he's aging at this point. Like, I like ascending. I'm sorry. I like ascending talent. I like seeing where guys, are ultimately going to go. I think that there's a lot more in the tank for Jalen Hurts to obviously get better. I think we've seen Matthew Stafford kind of where he's at in his career. So I mean, I still think he's a top 10 quarterback, but I'm not putting him over Jalen.
I like ascending guys too, so I don't blame you for that one bit. So
my fault. I'm back.
No, you're good. I'm going to ask you, CJ, about Matthew Stafford in a second. DG, well, actually, no. Let's get to Stafford in a second because I have a different question. CJ, about Matthew Stafford, explain the reason why you would have him hit 5th here.
Oh,
we got CJ.
I'm sideways.
I'm
sideways. Oh, now I'm back. Suckers. Okay. No, Matt Stafford, number 5. It's just because Look, I respect Jalen as much as anyone. He's a winner. He performs well in the biggest moments. But Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl ring too. And I'm not going to say Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to say Justin Herbert are better throwers of the football than Matt Stafford. He is old as dirt. DG is completely right. He only probably got 1, maybe 2 years. And really being nice, it's probably really 1 year. But money on the line, if I need somebody to go win a game for me, I'm not picking nobody over Matt Stafford. So this is more of like a this year conversation. Long term, yes, he's not on this list because he won't be in here forever, obviously. But we're making this list based off this season in 2025. Matt Stafford's still a top 5 quarterback. Like, there's no argument I can make that I can say Herbert or Jalen or any of the other quarterbacks are better throwers of the football than Matt Stafford. Yes, he's older. Yes, he may have some turnover issues at times. But when the money's on the line, again, him and McVay in January, not too many guys want to see them. And don't forget, he walked down that Eagles defense in the snow. And if it wasn't for that, well, I can't really use the weather as an excuse because it's football. You're able to deal with it. If it wasn't for the drops that some of those guys had, being Puka Nacua being one of them, they probably would have won that game and went into Philly and beat Philly. And they're really good elite defense last year. So I've always had respect for Matt Stafford. He's always been one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league for a while. He's been that way since, 2007, since he's been in the league. I know he's aging. He's definitely on his way out. But I can't put Jalen or Justin Herbert over Matthew Stafford, bro. Like, they're really good players. They're young and they're talented. But for one game scenario this year in 2025, give me Matt Stafford.
Yes or no, CJ, is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay.
All of very good, though.
Yeah, I agree. So as far as the Jalen Hurts point is concerned, and I think that actually framing it in the terms of the Eagles and Rams situation is a worthwhile thing to discuss. If you swap Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford, I think we all think that the Eagles still win that game, right?
Yep.
Okay. So how many quarterbacks are you going down before you say, this is too many? As far as winning the championship last year on the Eagles. And I think it's an interesting discussion. Is it for you, DG? Is it just the top 4, or is it people past that as well?
There's a couple more.
That I compare with the Eagles to win that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
There's more than 4. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Look,
Jalen performed, but we can be honest about if other quarterbacks are in that scenario too. Like, come on, bro. Like,
I agree.
There's not to take nothing away from Jalen. It's just saying other good quarterbacks don't.
It's
have
nothing
that
to take. It's nothing taken away from Jalen, but it's just, to me, they haven't done that. Like,
Jalen,
we've seen Justin Herbert. We've seen Herbert in the playoffs. He sucks. Like, it just is what it is. He's terrible.
He's not one of the guys I would say. So I hope you weren't saying that. He's definitely not one of them. He's not one.
I mean, I guess you could make an argument for Jaden Daniels to be there, like, just based off of what he did last year. But then are we just going off of 1 year?
Yeah, you want to see it twice before we start.
Yeah,
we can eliminate rookies. Yeah, we can eliminate rookies.
Well, I mean, the list starts to get tight from that standpoint. So if we're saying, like, from a talent perspective, I think, and maybe I'd be wrong, I think that Justin Herbert could have won last year with the Eagles. And I know obviously the playoffs are the playoffs, but I think that there are also mitigating circumstances that made him that way. That being said, if you guys don't think so, I think that's perfectly fine. So Jaden out of it, Justin out of it, Stafford would make it 5 as far as the quarterbacks that you would swap out and say they could.
The 6 gets kind of dicey. There's like 2 guys I'm thinking about. It's either like I know he gets a lot of flack, and I've been doubting him. You can have DG. I've been one of his biggest critics since he came out of college. Baker Mayfield been hooping the last 2 years.
I was thinking about mentioning Baker Mayfield.
Hooping, and this is without Mike Evans. This is without Chris Godwin. He changed his OC twice, and he's been doing. This is his 4th NFL team. He went to Cleveland, LA. No, 13. No, he was in Carolina. No, am I tripping?
He's in Carolina too.
Yeah, Carolina. Yeah. So, like, bro, Baker's been across the league, #1 pick. Threw him in the dirt. People thought he was dunzos. And quarterback, no quarterback, receiver, no receiver, different coordinator. Baker hooped the last 2 years, bro. So, like, you put Baker in Philly, this gets spooky out there, bro. Him throwing the football to A.J. Brown? What? Like, add Baker to the list of guys that would win with Philly.
DG, how do you feel about that?
Maybe.
I'll be honest. I would say no, and I would say no because I think that Jalen Hurts' legs always get lost in these discussions of how much value that he does add to that team. And I don't know if Baker quite has the talent to make up.
But, like, I don't know, bro. I still feel like Baker gets in certain situations and he starts.
And it would be a question mark for can Nick Sirianni call an offense without a quarterback without that many legs of a Jalen Hurts? Like it's not necessarily all on the quarterback. Can you call a game plan to like basically raise the floor of a guy like a Matthew Stafford who you know is not going to run away from you, a guy like Baker Mayfield who isn't as mobile as DG said, but he can move away and extend the play more than Matt Stafford can, obviously. So those guys are like probably on the opposite end of the spectrum from a guy like Jalen Hurts who's all world when he gets into the red zone like a Josh Allen or a Lamar. So can the coordinator do the same thing for the offense? So
I think it's a maybe for me.
Saquon Barkley would have a lot more touchdowns, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he definitely would. Baker, along those lines, two guys. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. Both been to Super Bowls. Obviously, we're really good rosters.
I'm going to say no on Brock Purdy, personally.
What about Goff?
No, I'm saying no on both.
Golf outdoors, yeah, I'm going to say no too, just because the outdoor situation.
So I would say no to both too, but I would also say no to Baker Mayfield again for that reason because of the Hurts.
Trust me, I was the same guy, but the last 2 years, Baker made me a believer, bro. I was hating on Baker. I hated on Baker the last 2 years. I'm done. I'm not hating in 2025. He
has played very well. I do want to see him without Liam Cohen, so we'll see. Young guys, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love.
No.
Yeah, it's a wait and see for me. I can't give you an answer right now on them guys. Yeah, I'm gonna say no if I had to.
I would be more inclined to say yes on CJ. Hell no on Jordan Love.
And
Jordan got to show me more. CJ is kind of a little more as well, so I would.
Jordan Love made me look stupid last year. Like I was back in because I thought he'd come into the year playing pretty well, and he made me look like an idiot.
That's how Lamar Jackson made me feel, DG. I told the whole world he was going to be Buffalo, and what he do?
Yeah,
made me look like a dummy. I put all my hard-earned money on Lamar. Goofy ass.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is tough. I think that Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford are really good picks for this fifth spot.
I'm going Jalen. I'm sorry. I love Matt.
I love Jalen too, but I'm going Matt Stafford. Until Matt Stafford out the league, bro. If Matt Stafford wasn't playing like Matt Stafford, then yeah, I would have no problem with Jalen. But Matt Stafford, when I saw what he did versus Philly, and at the end of the season when they started getting guys back healthy and he got healthy, he still looked like Matt Stafford, bro. So I can't say Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. And I can't use the argument of championship because they both did it. In the biggest moment, they hooped when they needed to. So I got to say Matt Stafford, bro.
I mean, this is tough. I can make an argument for Jaden. I still very much believe with CJ Stroud. I think Justin Herbert's extremely talented. I think Stafford is awesome. So it's very difficult. I will, for the purposes of this, and I think I always do say this, when it's close, I do default to the winning because I think that does matter. And Jalen Hurts has elevated his game, no matter how much talent he has had around him to do that in those moments. So I'll give it to Jalen Hurts, and I'll support that. I think Stafford next is fair, and then we can get to 7. Again, kind of get into the young guys: Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. I'll mention here Trevor Lawrence, obviously. Jay Daniels, C.J. Stroud, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield.
This is like the Baker Goff. Based on what I've said, I got to put Baker right here. Based on what I've seen the last couple of years, Goff obviously is limited when we get to certain parts of the season. I'm not going to include Jaden just because it's a 1-year sample size. Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Baker Mayfield. How do I want to rank those 3? I mean, last year I would have probably said Jordan Love or C.J. Stroud with no hesitation. But based on what I saw last year, Baker gained a lot of respect from me, bro. Losing Mike Evans, losing Chris Godwin, it didn't change nothing. He still played the same game, throwing the ball to Jalen McMillan. Even Cade Otton left some games last year. He still looked like Baker. So it's like change the OC, still was hooping. Like defense, their secondary was awful, and Baker still threw for 4,000 plus yards. So it's like I got to put Baker here, bro. He earned a lot of my respect for sure, based off what he did coming into this season. He's definitely a number 7 quarterback for me.
To me, Stroud went through a lot last year, and I still saw what I needed to from him on tape. So
and that run versus to LA was crazy.
After these guys, I'm taking Stroud. DG, where you want to go?
See, I was going to say Jaden Daniels.
No, yeah. If this is year 2 and Jaden looks like Jaden, then yeah, Jaden here, no problem. But since it's a 1-year sample size,
I guess I'll keep that in mind since it's a 1-year sample size. CJ Stroud. I don't think who else. Baker Mayfield. I think, to me, in my opinion, I like CJ Stroud's talent a little bit more. I'm just the guy I like ascending talent and versus what I've already seen. And I respect Baker, but like at the same time, like I've seen it. Like, I don't think that there's nothing else you can show me after this. I just think that there's more in the tank for CJ to keep ascending. So I gotta go CJ Stroud.
All right. CJ Stroud at number 7. I know obviously like we talked about other guys that have been better in the postseason, but I'm taking Justin Herbert 8. Sorry, that guy's annoying to play.
Regular season guy, yeah, great. Playoff guy.
Man, Justin Herbert at 10 until he stopped doing that bush.
DG, do you want to disagree? You're cool with Herbert at 8?
No, I'm good with Herbert at 8.
Herbert at 10.
Regular season.
He been on bush.
Herbert.
He been garbage.
9. Like we said, Baker, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Daniels.
Trevor Lawrence is not touching this list.
Trevor Lawrence is not touching this top 10. No, sir. And Jaden's got it. So this is probably like either Goff or Baker right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Goff, and I will also say Brock Purdy, who I thought had an underrated season because everything was falling apart, in 49 land.
I'll say
I'll go Baker 9, Goff 10.
Yeah, I'm Baker 9, Goff 10. I'm good with that. Can we move Lamar above Joe though?
Where's
if they're gonna be tied
after the way he played the last 2 years? Hell no. Big goofy.
I still think,
bruh.
Regular season
that
Lamar.
Ball, I threw my phone. I said, I know this man just fumbled.
Regular season Lamar has been
bro. He pissed me off so much.
I think he's been better.
He was trying so hard
the last 2 years over Joe.
And then Mark Andrews like, well, hey, you turn the ball over, I'll do it too. Goofy ass.
CJ really did not enjoy watching that playoff game.
Bro, I was so hot. I lost so much money.
Oh my goodness. So we were so yeah, top 10 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes number 1, Josh Allen number 2. I should say Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all tied for number 2. Jalen Hurts number 5, Matthew Stafford number 6, CJ Stroud number 7, Justin Herbert number 8, Baker Mayfield number 9, Jared Goff number 10. Bold prediction: Caleb Williams will be a top 10 quarterback next year.
He better with everything they did for him. I mean, bold prediction: Jaden Daniels and Caleb will both be top 10.
Yeah, I think that's
what we think.
That's fair. I think Jordan Love could be a top 10 quarterback next year too. But I put those other guys before. Anyway, running backs. This starts with Saquon Barkley for me. I hope.
But no hesitation.
No questions.
I don't know why you didn't start talking.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley had a representative season of the level of talent in which he was last year, and finally got into a good situation away from the Giants to be able to prove that as well. As the best running back in the National Football League. Number 2, I assume you guys both are going to go with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Bijan Robinson is better than Derrick Henry, but that's just me. Number 3.
You're not crazy, but Derrick Henry has the production.
Yeah, he has proven it. So you got to.
He just had another 2,000 yard season.
And he doesn't age. He doesn't age. So
he really doesn't, bro.
Where you guys want to go for number 3?
I'll say Bijan.
Either Bijan or Gibbs, either one.
Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's like 3-4 for me. I don't care the order.
I'll say Bijan over Gibbs just because of the impact alone. Yeah. Bijan is more important to his team.
I do like that 3-4. And I think Bijan is so good. But Jahmyr Gibbs does have that incredible unique talent as far as acceleration is concerned. That's so special. So Number 5 is where it gets interesting. Oh, geez. Guys like James Cook obviously had a good year. Jonathan Taylor had a down year for the Colts, but obviously we know how talented he is.
Joe Mixon had like a career year last year.
Joe Mixon had a really good year for the Texans as well. And Josh Jacobs had a career, maybe not quarter year, but he had a really good year for the Packers. Aaron Jones had a really good year for the Vikings.
This is tough.
Well, the other guy that does need to be mentioned, obviously injuries. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey as well. So I'll be interested to see where you guys want to go with this.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's a top 5 back when healthy. And Achilles probably the scariest thing coming off what we just seen in the NBA. He had tendonitis in both of them last year. So that's just scary, man. That's a lot to deal with. I don't feel comfortable putting him up there just because that's one play it could end his career. So.
And that was on top of having a PCL injury last year.
Exactly. That's a lot to deal with for one player, bro.
Yeah.
Based on what we saw last year, I'll go Josh Jacobs. Tried to do it.
Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is. Yeah,
either Josh or Joe, either one.
He had to take on. I think he proved, it wasn't just what he was able to do with the Raiders, being able to switch and then having Jordan Love go down too.
I will say
that's for sure.
I do like Aaron Jones a little bit more than Josh Jacobs, but I'm good with Josh Jacobs there.
He got Jones on the field, man. I respect AJ though. He's nice.
Yeah. Jones, McCaffrey.
I'll give McCaffrey his respect.
Yeah, if healthy, I still think he's
put if healthy next to him.
If healthy, he's probably top 3.
Yeah, healthy wise for sure. He's arguably the best running back in the league. Shit, when he healthy.
I should just said CMC.
Bold prediction: Bucky Irvin will be on this list.
Okay.
Shit, he may be there right now. No, I'm playing.
I was about to say he might make this list by the time we get to the end of it.
It was only rookie year, but shit.
Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, James Cook.
I say
Alvin Kamara healthy is the top 10 running back. I don't care what nobody that boy's so special. But
James Conner underrated for the Cardinals as well.
I'll go Joe Mixon right here based off what I saw last year.
What'd you say?
I like Cook.
Chase Brown also had an underrated season. I will go.
Oh, yeah, we didn't tell you. James Cook. I thought we typed in James Cook. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go James Cook.
James Cook right here. You don't respect that light-skinned boy on the white
He don't at all.
Who he play for?
Who he played for? Aaron Jones, I think is a good 8 pick here.
Either Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon, either one I'm cool with.
I like Joe over Aaron.
Yeah, that's Joe. Joe Mixon. Aaron.
And Alvin Kamara at 10 probably rounded out.
Kamara over Bucky?
Yep. Yeah. Just because Bucky had a 1-year sample size. But next year, Bucky should be on this list.
Mm-hmm. If all goes well, yeah. I think Bucky is on this list next year.
Okay. We will go Alvin Kamara. I have bold prediction. Amarian Hampton will be a top 10 running back after this season.
I got a sneaky pick too. Chuba Hubbard, I think could surprise some people.
Yeah. He had a nice underrated season as well for the Panthers too. CJ, do you want to have an underrated bold prediction?
Nope. Bucky, I rock with him heavy. He the one I probably would think that could jump in here the most. Outside of that, nobody really.
Name we didn't mention.
If you're watching this, you're not on the list, Bucko.
So you should get up there, Bucko.
Yes, you might want to take this as motivation. I hope you do.
Take a grown man's job.
We will talk about the Chiefs that possibly can make it on this list as well a little bit later on. But running back list: Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey with the asterisk of being healthy, James Cook at number 7, Joe Mixon 8, Aaron Jones 9, and Alvin Kamara rounds out the top 10 as well. I was gonna say something, I can't remember what I was gonna say. Shout out, because I think it's important. Name we didn't mention was Breece Hall. So
I said him earlier, but I was like,
you did.
Really,
sorry,
it didn't really pop like that. But he definitely got to get on there. For sure.
Wide receiver list. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of these lists have been understandably starting with Jamar Chase coming off of his Triple Crown season. Me personally, I still think Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Who you guys?
It's between them two. I'm cool either way.
Yeah, it's definitely those two.
Yeah, so.
DG.
I'll go with the majority. I'll let DG do it.
Jettas. What?
go with Jettas then.
No,
it's 1A, 1B.
So. Nah, it ain't no Jettas.
I
don't respect that one.
CD or AJ right here.
I don't respect him.
Respect him.
I'm going AJ Brown personally, number 3.
I'm cool with AJ.
Next to his name.
Think we can slide in CD Lamb there.
I do respect how he swerved that thotty though.
Shorty said
that was funny.
He hit her with the skirt. Watch out! Who you thought you was? Psych.
Okay. I was gonna say something. I can't remember.
Hit her with the Jello. I might swerve.
Next up.
Whoa.
Next up.
Shorty was like, "Oh, damn, it's like that." He said, "Yup, just like that." I might swerve in that corner. Whoa, watch out, Shorty.
Oh, you better get it, Jamar. You better
get him. You better get him. You better get him back. You better get him. He said, "Hey Zion, this is what you should have did."
I hate y'all so much.
He told Zion that this is what you can't do, son. Hey, Jordan Poole and Zion about to be going crazy in the waters with the Shorty. Oh my God.
5, I think, is blue hair.
5, we're gonna go Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill still the top 5 receiver.
Okay.
I was gonna say Amon.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, Amon Ra.
I love Amon Ra too, but it's still Tyreek Hill, bro. I'm not disrespecting Tyreek Hill, bro. I can't do it. I know he's had some drop issues, but this is still Tyreek Hill we're talking about. So
some people,
because at one point he was the top 3 receiver for me, but so he dropped down a little bit because CD's ascended. AJ's gotten better when he got to Philly, but Tyreek Hill's still top 5 for me. So just because he's so dynamic. So
some people also mentioned Puka. I personally will also give a shout out to Nico Collins as well.
Yep, both top 10 receivers, but not over Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I still the dynamics is there still for Tyreek.
He still look like Tyreek.
We're gonna talk about Tyreek Hill bounce back season then.
He better bounce back.
You better stop having keys.
I'll be honest with you guys. I have a bias to true outside wide receivers, so I'm going Nico Collins. You guys can choose how you guys want to.
This is either him or Amon-Ra for me, so I'm cool either way.
Yeah,
Nico's more dynamic for me too down the field, so I'll go Nico.
I like Nico too.
That's another sleeper. If y'all want to put an early bet in, somebody to lead the league in receivers, I think you can get Nico at plus 900. That's great value because I think he led the league in 20-plus yard catches before he got hurt. So, and the defense is probably going to – I mean, the offensive line probably won't be as good, so I have to feed on Nico a lot more. So,
yeah,
that's another good bet. You want to put that bet in.
Argument about him being 5.
Yeah, you get that argument for 5 for sure.
I think okay, so I'm probably going Puka, but I'm just saying this. We're getting into the 1 year sample size of Brian Thomas Jr. and
Malik Neighbors
as well.
Yeah.
We'll
keep them off the list for now. Yeah. This is like it's like the Puka, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans territory. That's
Drake London.
Drake London. We're creeping in that area now, so it's not a whole lot of separators.
Drake London's a really good wide receiver.
Why you hating on Drake London, bro? He's nice. Dang. You gonna say who to Terry McLaurin to?
You're only saying who because Mondo.
You think they all bums?
That's the only reason why.
Man, really hot take. Rashee Rice gonna be on this bit next year. Boom, man.
That's why we beat them last year.
Yeah, that's right. In their building.
Where was Drake London?
Eating wings.
Didn't see him.
Boom. Catch him at Magic City.
Getting that lemon Lou special.
Get the lemon pepper loose, baby. The 10-piece all flats, you dig?
Who y'all vote for number 8? Who y'all vote for number 8?
Me personally, I would say Garrett Wilson because I think he's so dynamic, but he don't got the numbers really to back up the coverage. But Garrett Wilson's so fucking good.
Garrett Wilson catch some
That
passes
catch he made
last year, bro. He caught that draw like
like,
this,
what
double tap. Oh,
Bro,
man,
the
that was
Jordan
nuts.
symbol in the air. I'm like, bro, he's so cold, bro. Give him a legit quarterback consistently. Garrett Wilson's a top 10 receiver. We're not having this conversation.
He's back with his old guy. He's got Justin Fields back.
You the only one that agree, but I said Garrett. We had this conversation off air on the space, and I said Garrett Wilson. People laughed at me. I said, y'all crazy. Garrett Wilson is so good, bro.
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah, absolutely.
He just don't have the numbers to consistently back it up. So I get it.
Yeah,
that's why.
I would. So we saying that we are keeping the 1 year guys off the list because we did that
for now.
So
yeah.
we should keep Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. off the list. DG looks good.
It's either Puka or Garrett for right here for me.
Oh yeah, no, Puka's next. Sorry, Puka's next.
Puka, Nagua, Puka.
I was gonna say, do we still respect Devontae Adams?
Yes, but not enough to put him on this list.
Still a very good receiver
for me personally.
Yeah, I feel it. I respect it.
I'm you're probably not gonna like to hear this, but next up, I would personally go. Do I like? Because I think Garrett's just a little bit more dynamic. I'm the next two names for me would be Garrett Wilson and Drake London. And I think I prefer Wilson just for a little bit of dynamicism in his inside out.
Oh yeah, Garrett Wilson's better than Drake London. That's not a conversation. And I love Drake London, but Garrett Wilson's better than you. We're not doing it. Getting in out of breaks, catching the ball, run after catch, flexibility to play in the slot or outside, go it over your head and get it. Yeah, that's Garrett Wilson.
Okay, I say Drake London. Where you want to go?
Make sure I'm not skipping nobody. Drake London and Terry McLaurin. Who do we respect more?
Yeah. So, oh man, I love
Terry.
Yeah, I'm leaning a little toward Terry. Not going because he's had some of the worst quarterbacks ever.
I'm not mad at Terry McLaurin.
I may have put Terry right there. Yeah.
Not mad at Terry McLaurin. So yes. So wide receiver list: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, still retaining that top 5 position. Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin.
Terry, he made me hella money last year. Shout out to
tight end. We're only going 5 deep here at tight end. To me, it's a 2-man race for number 1. And this one kind of, unfortunately, we're gonna have to break the 1 year rule just because.
Brock.
There's not that many guys to pick from. Yeah. I mean, well, we got to stay true to our rule.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to break it here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's Brock Bowers or George Kittle for me.
After what I seen last year, I don't.
It's either Brock, Kittle, Laporta. That's my top 3.
I think it's Brock or Kittle for me.
I'll say Kittle.
I give it to Kittle just a little.
I'll give it to Kittle out of respect. But he's been doing it a long time.
I think we can't just give him 1 year and he's number 1.
Yeah, 1 year, number 1. You got to earn that. You got to earn that shit.
I like Trey McBride a little bit over, say, Laporta, but Laporta's still like.
Laporta's such a dog, bro. He was hurt last year. I know he dealt with that, but when he's healthy, God, he's so good. I do like Trey McBride too, but the not getting in the end zone part really pisses me off.
I like McBride, but yeah, I'm a Laporta guy. I think he's a massive red zone threat.
Third down, he feed him, boy. When you need money on the play, he throwing an Amon-Ra or him.
I'm with TJ. He cashed me a lot last year.
Boy, Laporta, you good. You certified too, my boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Trey McBride 4.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Put the old man at 5, man. I know he gets
It's Travis Kelce top 5.
I still gotta. The Yeti still gotta be up there, brother. Like
up the engine one good time. They saw it.
I know.
He a little old. I know. We know.
Yeah. He's still 5.
But don't get it twisted. When it's money on the line, you know what time it
is.
Yeah.
Obviously taking him over both guys in Baltimore.
Mark who? Man, please.
You talking about Butterfingers?
Isaiah McFakely? No, get him out of here too. Buster? You talking about Bigfoot? Extra long toe?
Buster,
He can get out of here too.
Yeah.
Extra long
Yeah,
toe.
Extra long toe?
boy.
Extra long toe. He's out of bounds. Out of bounds.
Black cleat wear boy.
Should have wore white cleats. Bozo.
Only other guy that I will shout out, TJ Hawkinson came back really good from the injury. So I think that, he's in line to have a really good year again. But that'll be the tight end list. George Kittle, number 1, Brock Bowers, number 2, Sam Laporte, number 3, Trey McBride, number 4, and the old man, Big Yeti himself, Travis Kelce at number 5.
Yeah.
Hot take. CJ. Your boy.
My hot take.
No. I'm saying
Who?
I have a hot take. Your boy.
Oh, go ahead. Who?
Fergalicious.
Fergie.
He's going to be a top 10 tight end this year. Maybe top 5.
For sure. Especially when I'm not trying to knock on wood. I don't want to wish injury upon anybody, but Tyler Higbee's been injury prone. So when he does go down, Higbee going to step right on it.
I think he could win that job outright, even if Higbee.
Absolutely. I agree. He's like a younger Higbee, except better. So.
DG, do you have any hot takes as far as tight end?
Warren.
Tyler Warren will be top 5.
I don't think he's going to get the quarterback play. I don't think he's going to get the quarterback play. I think Colson. I touch him in fantasy. I think Colson Loveland. I think Colson Loveland has a much better chance.
He has 2 mouths to feed in Chicago.
True too.
But Ben Johnson got him for a reason, bro. Ben Johnson got him for a reason.
He got him. You ain't just drafting not to use him for sure.
Right.
Oh no, Tyler Warren, I believe, is the better overall tight end, but Colson Loveland has a way better quarterback.
Oh wow,
it's not even close.
Oh okay, but that's not. I don't know if that's big news. Kyrie Irving declined his player option.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, get that knee right. Go ahead. We're on the
lineman. This is easy. Buddy in Tampa. Well, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Tristan Wirfs.
Tristan Wirfs. You have him in football.
You got him over. I agree. By the way,
he's been an All-Pro on both sides. And he like 23 or 24. Yeah. Bro, he's young as shit. And he's like, best lineman in football. It's not even close. Any athletic freak.
I think Lane Johnson is still.
No, and Lane Johnson's still up there, but Tristan Wirfs so fucking good,
bro. Yes, I think Lane Johnson number 2 personally for offensive tackles.
Definition of consistency. He's been doing it for a decade.
Yeah, somehow just being the lead on it. On that basis.
It's like the Penei Sewell territory.
Yeah, you get into those conversations.
Yeah, when they get in that area.
Yeah, I think Penei would be my answer.
Make sure I'm not tripping. I forget anybody.
I mean, people will say Trent Williams, but he had the injuries.
Yeah, Trent's healthy. Yeah, but obviously, just he's not the same player. So I'm gonna go Penei.
Yeah, I'd probably say Penei.
Penei.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's taking that away from him. So yeah, we're Penei Sewell.
Please pass some of your powers to your cousin.
Please, God. Whatever you're doing in the offseason, work out with your cousin. Please, God.
I still think Christian Darrisaw is worthy of it. I'm not saying that he has to be number 4 here, because it obviously is Christian Darrisaw.
Minnesota. Yeah, that was gonna be my next shot. Yeah, I like him.
Okay.
I like Darrisaw. When healthy, he's definitely a dog. He can stay on the field.
And then we have the kind of guys that had down years. Obviously, Larry Tunsil got traded to the Commanders. You got Trent Williams. You could say Rashawn Slater. Maybe in the conversation. I think that maybe it's a little bit too high for him.
No, this is Dawkins right here.
Oh, you okay?
After the year he had, Dawkins had.
Deion did have.
They need to be higher, right? Go.
Well, actually, okay. No, I lied. I'm sorry. Dawkins did have a really good year. We got to say that for sure.
For sure.
This should be Jordan Mailata.
Oh yeah, Jordan Mailata. I forgot about big
Jordan Mailata is a monster. Jordan Mailata is a monster.
Another athletic freak.
They do. And it sucks because one of them was from the 7th round, of course. But yeah, I think
demon and made him a starting line.
He's so amazing.
Bro, he's so good.
He's so amazing. TG is disappointed.
Look at him and then look at Dawkins. Body type's completely different.
So yeah, top 5 offensive tackles: Tristan Wirfs, Lane Johnson, Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw and Jordan Mailata. Such a cheat code, man. It's such a cheat code.
And they had big ass Becton playing guard, 6'8" ass.
Yeah.
And they wonder why Saquon went stupid. You see the average height on their line like 6'6".
It's nuts. They all move too. That's the crazy part about it. They all can move. Offensive guard.
Either yeah, I want to say Thuney, but Lindstrom, no.
Lindstrom, a lot of people will say.
That's my two, either Thuney or Lindstrom. Either one of those.
Yeah, I still prefer Joe Thuney personally because I value the pass blocking more than the run blocking. But I think that's perfectly fair. Chris Lindstrom. Also, Chris Lindstrom is from the Falcons. For people that may not know, I know we're getting into some.
Guard. He's really good. I know people don't watch him, but
yeah, excellent run blocking and a good pass blocker as well. Guard for the Atlanta Falcons.
I would go probably Zach Nelson next, or not Zach Nelson, but
Quinn Nelson.
Quinn Nelson, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's had a few down years.
Yeah, a couple of down years, but he's still Quinn Nelson. Like he's still good.
DG, do you have somebody else?
Can't say Zach Martin no more.
I think of a guy that's about to get paid.
Oh, he on the list.
You think you putting him that high?
Yeah, let's go, DG.
I mean,
She.
ascending talent. Sky's the limit for him. Can you name any other young guards in this league that
she?
Well, as far as other names, guys like Quinn Miners would be brought up as well. He was excellent for the Broncos. But I think you can get Trey Smith here. I truly do think you can.
Trey definitely top five. It's just where you want to put him.
Yeah. I would probably go.
That's the boy that was crying about losing to the Chiefs.
That is him. Yes.
Why do you always do this?
That does lose you a few points. I'm not gonna.
That was funny. That was funny. Cry tear.
I mean, who are you guys voting for?
Nah, Miners had all pro.
Myers 3. I put Trey at 4.
Okay. And I think Quinn Nelson 5 is good for me. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Offensive guard: Joe Thuney, Chris Lindstrom, Quinn Miners, Trey Smith, and Quentin Nelson. Nelson for the Colts. For those that may not know. Oh, did I did this twice? Oops. There you go. We know who's number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am not arguing.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing either. Curry is clearly number 1, especially after Frank Ragnow's retirement. I thought he was number 1 regardless, but he's the number 1 guy. Next after him, Tyler Linderbaum had a really good year for Baltimore.
Yeah, I was going to say Linderbaum. That would be my next one.
Yeah, I think that's a fair guy to go with next. I mean, it kind of gets. I mean, Cam Jurgens was all right. Cooper Beebe, our guy that we talked about in the draft process. Yeah, Zach. I mean, you know, it was Zach Frazier for the Steelers had a solid year. Drew Dahlman. Gets late early with centers. Not gonna lie to you.
Oh man, in Tampa Bay before he retired would have been on his list.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, him and Jason was the other 2 guys that you can mention. They both done
right.
Now,
and
so.
We've lost Jason. We've lost and his name just jumped out of my head. We lost Fred.
I'm looking at his face. I forgot his name.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough.
Not that many centers. Yeah.
I think Zach Frazier had a really good year for Pittsburgh. But to be fair, he is only a rookie, so it's like difficult. Are we breaking the rule again for Zach Frazier of all people?
Shit, you may have to. There's not that many guys popping up in my head, at least. I can't think of too many.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Drew Dahlman, who is actually again a good combination with the Bears' interior offensive line as well. Yeah, that is tough. I think I'd probably still lean slightly. Cam Jurgens was fine, but I don't think he was that good.
Yeah, for Philly, yeah.
I don't know. This is tough. Like I
It's
said,
tough.
it gets a little late early for some of these guys.
Well, I said for me, it's Creed and everybody else after that.
We'll leave it at top. We'll leave it at top three.
Don't need to force it. Good list. Good list. Good job.
Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaugh, and Drew Dalman is the top three centers in the National Football League. So we'll end it off with asking a simple question. Make the case for the guys that you guys think can make it onto these lists. Obviously, we mentioned Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, Kingsley Suamataia. I think that's gas, but that's probably
That's definitely gas.
optimistic.
I hope he proved me wrong, though.
I would say it's probably extremely optimistic for anybody like Josh Simmons or Jawan Taylor, but the obvious answer is Rashee Rice, and I think we all think that he truly can have a top 10 season as well.
Yeah, Rashee would be obviously my pick. Again, to number 10 in the Chiefs uniform, you're not on this list. And personally, I don't think you deserve to be anywhere near this list. I hope you use this as motivation. I hope you see this. I hope you understand this is a contract year.
Which are
I need you to understand your vision on the field needs to get better.
please, God.
Please, for the love of God,
Read the
go.
whole side.
And I'm going to say pause before I say go
Pause.
through the right hole.
Please.
Okay? Don't miss it.
No
All
diddy.
right? No diddy. All right? That is all.
I'll make a claim for number 4. Dealt with a lot of distractions the last couple of years, injuries, unfortunately. Glad you're here. Glad you're healthy, ready to roll. From what the reports we saw, he's all ready to go with camp, no limitations, wearing no knee sleeve, not holding him back. He looked like himself. But like DG said, for the love of God, stay in the freaking house. If I see you outside, number 4, I swear to God it's up. Leave the house, see what happens. Drive a car. I don't care. Leave the freaking crib and see what I do.
I will
come over
drive
there
for you,
myself.
bro.
I swear to God.
Right. I will drive for free, dog.
I don't care, bro. I'll drive you. I'll pay for the gas. No, I'm playing. You gotta pay for the gas. But I will drive you, bro. I swear to God, I will.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to pay for the gas.
Anywhere you want.
Not in Dallas. It's hot down there. It's taking.
But it might be going crazy.
Bro, please, just serious note. Stay out of trouble, please, God. I don't want to hear y'all name at all summer.
Xavier too.
I don't. Don't leave the house. Work out in the backyard. Get a trainer. Tell them to come to the crib. You pay them. Please don't leave the house, bro. I'm dead serious. I don't want to hear nobody name this something. Please, God.
You seen Jamar the other night, right? You saw that, right?
Do that.
No, don't do that. Don't even go outside. Don't
please, go outside. Like, don't leave the house, bro. Please. Don't get in trouble, bro. I'm so serious, Rashee. Rashee, if you see this, bro, I'm dead serious, bro. I'll be defending your name, dog. Like, stop getting in trouble, bro. You too smart for that, dog. Like, stop doing that, bro. Please stay in the house, bro. Please watch a movie, Netflix. I don't care.
All right. That being said,
you can use, brother.
We say this out of love because we do truly believe
we love you, bro. We want the best for you, for please, God.
Moving on. Underdog fantasy NBA Finals wrapped up. Still, NFL futures around the corner. MLB getting hot. WNBA every single night. Obviously, summertime make you a little bit of money. Use code TRUTH3, $100 deposit match, or code KingdomCast as well. As DG's going to end it off with the OKC. That's it for episode 82. We're going to top off with the players. We'll be back next 3 weeks. Going to be getting into our roster previews for the Chiefs specifically as we ramp up to camp. Getting ready for that. Looking forward to it. I think that's going to be it. Nothing else to be said, guys. Peace out. Go Chiefs.